Hello, and welcome to G Fun Facts Online, the podcast where we dive deep into the science that shapes our world and our future. Today, we're going on an odyssey, not into outer space, but into the microscopic realm of our own bodies. We're exploring a class of cells with a truly extraordinary capability, the power to regenerate and repair. They are the biological architects that hold the key to a new era of medicine. I am talking, of course, about stem cells. They represent a frontier in our quest to treat and potentially cure some of the most debilitating diseases known to humanity. So what are these miracle cells? How do they work? And are they really the future of medicine? Let's find out. At its most fundamental level, a stem cell is a cell with the unique ability to develop into many different specialized cell types in the body. Think of it as a biological blank slate. These cells have two key properties that make them so special. The first is self-renewal. When a stem cell divides, it can create more stem cells, ensuring a continuous supply. The second is differentiation. This is the magic part. Under the right conditions, a stem cell can transform into a specialized cell with a specific job, like a blood cell, a brain cell, a heart muscle cell, or a bone cell. No other cell in your body has this natural, built-in ability to generate entirely new types of cells. Our bodies use this system all the time. When an organ or tissue gets damaged, it triggers a biological alarm. The injured tissue releases chemical signals that travel to your bone marrow, which is like a stem cell factory. The bone marrow then releases stem cells into the bloodstream. These circulating stem cells are then guided to the site of injury by another compound called stromal-derived factor 1, or SDF1. Once they arrive, they get to work, multiplying and transforming into the specific cells needed to repair the damage. It's an incredible, built-in repair kit. Now, not all stem cells are the same. Scientists generally categorize them into a few key types. First, we have embryonic stem cells, or ESCs. These are derived from a very early stage embryo called a blastocyst. ESCs are what we call pluripotent, which means they can differentiate into any cell type in the entire body. This makes them incredibly powerful for research and therapy, but as you might imagine, their use is at the center of a major ethical debate, since their extraction involves the destruction of an embryo. We'll touch more on that later. Next, there are adult stem cells, or ASCs. These are found in various tissues all over your body, in your bone marrow, fat, and even your skin. These cells are generally multipotent, which is a step down from pluripotent. It means they can turn into a limited range of cell types, usually related to the tissue they came from. For example, hematopoietic stem cells in your bone marrow are superstars that give rise to all the different types of blood cells your body needs. Finally, we have one of the biggest breakthroughs in modern biology, induced pluripotent stem cells, or iPSCs. In a Nobel Prize-winning discovery, scientists figured out how to take a regular adult cell, like a skin cell, and reprogram it in the lab to behave just like an embryonic stem cell. These iPSCs are pluripotent, just like ESCs, but can be generated from a patient's own cells. This is a game changer because it helps avoid issues of immune rejection and sidesteps many of the ethical concerns surrounding embryonic stem cells. The potential of these cells is not just theoretical. It's already transforming treatments and creating a massive new industry. The global stem cell therapy market is expected to more than double in the coming years, growing from about $4.5 billion in 2024 to nearly $10 billion by 2030. So where are we seeing the biggest impact? The most well-known application is in regenerative medicine and tissue repair. For orthopedic injuries, mesenchymal stem cells are being used to treat joint pain and sports injuries, with many patients reporting significant pain relief and better mobility. In cardiovascular disease, the results are stunning. Stem cell therapies are being used to repair heart tissue damaged by heart attacks. One major clinical trial for chronic heart failure found that cell therapy reduced the risk of a subsequent heart attack or stroke by a staggering 58%. Even in dermatology, stem cells are being used for skin rejuvenation, scar treatment, and anti-aging solutions. Perhaps the most profound area of research is in neurological disorders. For diseases like Parkinson's, the hope is to use stem cells to replace the dopamine-producing neurons that are lost. For multiple sclerosis, or MS, clinical studies have already shown that a type of stem cell transplant can lead to significant improvement in disability for some patients when compared to standard medication. And for spinal cord injuries, researchers are exploring how stem cells might repair damage and restore at least some function. But let's not forget where stem cell therapy got its start as a proven, life-saving treatment. For decades, bone marrow transplants, which are essentially stem cell transplants, have been a standard treatment for blood cancers like leukemia, with success rates between 60 and 70%. Beyond direct therapies, stem cells, particularly iPSCs, are revolutionizing how we discover and test new drugs. By taking a patient's skin cells, turning them into iPSCs, and then growing them into, say, heart cells in a petri dish, scientists can create a disease-in-a-dish model. This allows them to study how a disease develops and test new drugs on human cells without ever touching the patient, paving the way for truly personalized medicine. But despite this enormous promise, the road to widespread use is filled with hurdles. First and foremost is the ethical debate, which primarily surrounds the use of embryonic stem cells. The core of the issue is the moral status of the human embryo. Is it ethical to destroy an embryo for research, even if it could lead to cures for terrible diseases? This has led to a patchwork of regulations across the globe. While the development of iPSCs has eased some of these concerns, many scientists argue that research on embryonic stem cells is still vital for fundamental understanding. Then there are the critical issues of safety and efficacy. Because pluripotent stem cells are so good at dividing rapidly, there's a risk they could form tumors. There's also the challenge of immune rejection if the cells come from a donor. And one of the biggest technical hurdles is simply control. Scientists have to ensure that the stem cells differentiate only into the desired cell type. You want to patch a heart with heart muscle, not accidentally grow bone or hair cells in its place. Finally, there's the challenge of manufacturing and accessibility. Producing clinical-grade stem cells is a complex and incredibly expensive process. The high cost of these therapies raises serious questions about who will be able to access them. It's a problem the field has to solve to ensure these revolutionary treatments are available to everyone who needs them, not just the wealthy. So, what does the future hold? The field is advancing at a breathtaking pace. We're seeing a convergence of stem cell biology with other cutting-edge technologies that promise to unlock the next generation of treatments. Imagine combining stem cell therapy with gene editing tools like CRISPR. This could allow us to take a patient's cells, correct a genetic defect that causes a disease like sickle cell anemia or Huntington's, and then return the healthy cells to the body, offering a true cure. Then there's 3D bioprinting. Scientists are already using stem cells as a kind of bioink to print complex tissue structures and even simple mini-organs, called organoids. This technology could one day solve the global shortage of organs for transplantation. And of course, artificial intelligence is playing a role, helping to accelerate research, improve diagnostics, and plan treatments, making the whole process faster and more precise. The regenerative power of stem cells represents a true paradigm shift in medicine. We're moving away from simply managing symptoms towards a future where we can restore function, repair damage, and genuinely cure diseases. While significant challenges remain, the relentless pursuit of knowledge in this biological frontier is turning what was once science fiction into a clinical reality. We are learning to rebuild and rejuvenate the human body from its very own building blocks. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of stem cells. It's a field that's complex, challenging, but filled with an incredible amount of hope for the future of human health. For more fascinating insights into the world of science, make sure you subscribe to Fun Facts Online, wherever you get your podcasts. Until next time, stay curious.